this is like one of the logistics capitals of the world that we're in right now. In Yerevan, there's a logistics office on every corner. So, cool. Oh my God, I actually wanted to ask you, how do you find like kind of like mental stability and happiness in this industry? Because a lot of probably freight brokers struggle with being burnt out, especially in this kind of market where you're dealing with stress. And we can maybe slow down, maybe walk this floor. So like, do you have some kind of tips, or like, how do you maintain? Because like you used to be stressed out, burned out. I used to be stressed out and burned out, and I feel like a lot of people that are watching this have experienced being stressed out and burned out. So like, do you have like, tips, could you offer like any tips? Like, what do you do like to?
I'm still working on it. I'm not perfect ever, but like having done and built a company and like worked very hard on it, and like
when you were 20 years old.
Yeah, wasted, like maybe not wasted, but like burnt out, right?
Sure.
Now my approach to business is like just work kind of at your pace, work towards it, you know.
Yeah.
Don't stress out about things too much, kind of like that maybe story we just talked about.
Sure.
Stay learning and growing, like that will keep you happy. And if it's not necessarily within the space that you're working in now, like things outside of work, like be growing just by something that's making you happy, making you better at something. And like it could even be like maybe people like escaping by playing video games and getting better at that, but also trying to figure out, is there a way where I can make that thing my
passion? My
passion, or like, can I turn it into something that allows me to like spend more time doing it, right?
Okay, but like, but we're freight brokers, right? So what about like just during work, when you're working, like, are you're not as stressed as you used to be about stuff?
Yes.
Why is that so? Why are you not as stressed?
Two reasons. One, I'm approaching conversations and situations with more curiosity, and I don't feel that like burn and like pressure to book as much freight as fast as possible and be the very like tip top broker, you know, dispatcher out there. Because to me, it's very important to have like the happiness, safety, and like joy, I guess. And second is having...
Which way should we go? Just take a left here?
Having outsourced a lot of like the tasks that I didn't like doing and don't like doing.
What do you outsource?
Pretty much like emails, booking freight, all those emails, like someone could be responding to those emails for you, you know, for a better price. You could write scripts and things like that. So like if you're a broker in the US, like a carrier rep, like you don't have to be responding to every single email. If you're willing
it's a global market right now. Freight brokers is things are outsourced all over the world. Where, like, I mean, it only makes sense to do it, you know, freeing up your time.
Yes. So like now, when I'm still brokering freight, moving freight, but now I've got 3 people that are doing it, really, and any of the bigger issues that come up.
Let's go straight.
Is when I get involved.
You want to show the city a little bit? Sorry.
Is when I get involved, and then I apply like my many years in like experience in the industry on different sides of it into like psychological conversations with carriers that are angry about a certain situation and trying to figure out ways to de-escalate as smoothly as possible.
Sure.
To just make life not so difficult. Because you could go into a conversation like that where the carrier is heated about, the driver's heated about, you know, having to lay over for the weekend because he was told that the receiver would be open at that appointment at 8 p.m. He was late 15 minutes, and now he has to wait until Monday to deliver the load, and he doesn't live in that town.
Yeah.
So understandably, 99% of people would be furious, mad. And so understanding his perspective and going into that conversation and work, like, what interests
Really
me
understanding
now,
someone else's perspective.
yeah, what interests me now is how I can help solve that as smoothly, efficiently, and
But
in as much of a positive light as possible.
You've learned this through like also books, because you've read Chris Voss's, what's Chris Voss's book called?
Chris Voss, the Black Swan Group. Pretty much they put out a ton
What's the
of
book
content.
called though? Chris Voss, like the negotiation book. I want people to know like which book it is.
I forgot the name, honestly.
Well, there's a book by Chris Voss that like basically goes into sales negotiations. FreightWaves talked about it. Tom read
there's
it.
a second one which his partner does, which is called Hostage Negotiation Leadership, which builds on top of that, and builds on top of that first book and applies more to leaders in business, which has been helping me a lot too. And then just the content, they have a newsletter that just puts out a ton of useful content. But what's really important when you read, and that it could be a book, it could be YouTube videos, it could be Instagram quotes. Like, if you read it but don't apply it or don't think it through, it's like you never read it, right?
Of course, you gotta apply and make sure that you're learning.
Deeply, right?
Or, yeah, definitely. Derek, that bus looks awesome. Derek, gotta get those. I'm sorry, I don't have anything. All right, we can take a right here. Let's go this way. So, I guess in terms of, this is like one of the logistics capitals of the world that we're in right now, in Yerevan. There's a logistics office on every corner. So it's definitely an interesting place. People really depend on these jobs for their income, it's just to provide for their family. And we're just gonna go take a stroll. It's a beautiful Sunday right now. Talking about logistics, talking about freight, how Tom's learned a lot from reading books and applying stuff. I kind of heard you up there a little bit. Sorry about that.
No worries at all.
But we'll fix it up. So if
it's like logistics. It's always hurried. It's always rushed.
Yeah, I just want to show. I want to have like Derek just film like the streets here. This is just cool. We got a stray dog right here. Look at that beautiful boy. We're at the crossroads of Europe and the Middle East and Asia. This is it right here. You really feel like you're in a foot in Europe, and you have a foot in the Middle East and in Asia. Like, I've been to India before, and I kind of feel a little bit, not like totally, but there's some resemblances here. And people here have been through a lot.
Did you just see that?
What, he waited? The dog waited?
He waited until the cross light turned on, and then he walked across with everyone else.
Yeah, this is cool. Film this guy right here. I mean, you know what's difficult? What's difficult is always providing entertaining content, because like
that's what you're really,
that's why I focus on.
It's just amazing. It's so smart of you, because you're one of the few people in logistics that sees the value of entertainment, and you're like knocking on a door that might be
It's cool.
Huge once open.
Yeah, you got to do it properly too, though.
Because it's entertainment and logistics.
Because it's not even the idea that everyone has a great idea, but actually implementing it and creating it.
Yeah.
That's what like. So what if we were to create like an episode about like logistics cities in the world? Like really like going like, because there's outsourcing is happening all around. Logistics outsourcing. Where there's cities in Lithuania, in Ukraine, Serbia, Poland, Romania, Bulgaria, Armenia, like Georgia, like all these places, like India, Colombia. You have Lean Solutions in Colombia, which employs 6,000 people. Like
Mexico, right?
Mexico. So like, if you're a freight broker and you're not, becoming better, if you're not training yourself, if you're just a regular freight broker, like once the market crashes, like you're gonna have to probably find another job or do something else, because you have to keep educating yourself and becoming the best version of yourself. So you can't just be someone that goes on DAT and posts their truck, you just posts their load and expects to be a good freight broker. You know, you gotta build those relationships with people. This is a relationship-based industry completely. I don't know if you see that.
It is a relationship-based business, although in a carrier sales role, having the freight is also very important, and the price point, right?
Yes, but that's where relationships come intact. Like, no one's gonna save you. You know, if you have a load that you need help moving, who's gonna help you? Some dat rat? No, they're not.
Yeah.
The relationship that you have in place that you built with, or the carriers that you found and you've sourced, or you've maintained a relationship with.
That's the advantage that people working in the U.S. have already and will continue to have as the world becomes more outsourced, and as the industry becomes more outsourced.
Yeah.
Like your relationships
will
prove to be huge. So
that's
treat
why
your contacts, your carriers right.
Yeah.
Treat your customers right.
And all this technology is just a tool to make relationships more efficient and better. So like, let's say someone's creating an application for tracking. Like, that application's only to serve to track the load in a better way, where you're not using someone else's time or wasting someone's time. Instead, you're actually helping you could spend more time talking to the carrier on like other stuff about how to get more freight instead of tracking a load that could be done by a computer.
Yes.
You know, so it's only used as a tool. And that's like what I've learned in technology. Like, so far with technology, all this technology is just served as used as a tool. Like, freight brokers are going to exist. Dispatchers are going to exist. There might have more people to handle more trucks, more loads because of technology, but that person is still so important in dealing with issues and in building relationships. Like, computers don't build relationships.
That's right.
So
100%. And educating yourself and your mind on how to properly build relationships.
Yeah.
Is what like fascinates me right now, because a lot of brokers kind of turn into hotheads with time, and I did too.
Yeah.
There's so many problems, not enough time, and you get impatient and you don't treat people right, and then you burn relationships.
Yeah, it's true. So I don't know where we're walking right now. We're just kind of going for a stroll. We should probably go show some sights. Go sightseeing. Maybe go to the Republic Square. I'm kind of getting hungry. I'm not sure about you guys. This is a post-USSR country. I'm not sure if most people are aware. Russian is highly or widely spoken. And Armenia to the north is bordered with Georgia. To the east, it's bordered with Azerbaijan, which is currently they're kind of in a territorial conflict. And then to the west, they have Turkey, and to the south, they have Iran. So it's kind of geographically placed in a tough place. Through the crossroads, not only of Europe and Asia and Middle East, but also the crossroads of religion, because you have Christianity in Armenia, and then they're basically surrounded, besides Georgia, they're surrounded by Muslim countries, so it creates a lot of conflict. And wasn't this on the route, the Persian
Silk Road.
So the Silk Road. It was on the route of the Silk Road. So not a place.
This country is crazy for its like ancient history.
Yeah, ancient history.
It's been around for.
Yeah, it used to be massive, and their language is, I think, like what, 2,000 years old.
No more. Yeah.
I mean, in perspective, Poland's been around for like 10 centuries. Russian's been around for I think like around 10 centuries, and so it's definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it was like what, Babylon, and then just north of Babylon was the Assyrian empire, which Armenia is really like the core of it, I believe.
Definitely. Thank you guys for watching and supporting Freight Caviar. We created a few episodes about what happened in Armenia. We were welcomed in Armenia by great people. They showed us around. We filmed some great content. Unfortunately, some of that content got deleted. We ran into some troubles. We did get in trouble in Armenia with what we were doing. It's kind of a topic that I want to talk about in the final episode, and it's going to really get down to the gist of the double brokering capital of the world, which is Yerevan. But Armenia is a beautiful country filled with beautiful people. So just thanks to everyone that supported us. Thank you to everyone that's supporting us now and watching us. But yeah, so the next episode just coming out Christmas Eve will detail about what actually happened in Armenia and my lessons that I've learned from my trip.